In the midst of the frenzy of news about BTS's Jungkook's return that has been counting the weeks, the public was again surprised not by HYB's official statement, not by the comeback announcement, and not by the premiere broadcast of the variety show. However, the news that struck like lightning in broad daylight came from Itaewon, an elite area that has been known as the secret residence of South Korea's top conglomerates and celebrities. And now, all eyes are on one stately home there. The house, which has so far been known only as the silent palace of BTS's Golden Magne, turns out to hold a story that is far from glamorous. The most shocking news that just surfaced was the sudden arrival of Jungkook's parents to the house. Not an ordinary visit, not a family reunion, but something much deeper, stirring emotions and harboring a great secret that had been buried tightly. The clock struck 1:15 a.m. when two luxury cars with license plates known to be registered to the John family were seen stopping in front of the large gate of Jungkook's house in Itaewon. Some local residents who accidentally woke up because of the sound of vehicle engines claimed to see the figure of a middle-aged man and woman get off the vehicle and rush into the house. They brought suitcases, some documents, and faces that did not show their usual peaceful expressions. An exclusive source from the elite environment said that it was not usual for Jungkook's parents to come outside of visiting hours and without strict escort, especially by carrying thick files that were later known as legal documents and property contracts. Speculation is running wild. Is there a serious problem going on? Is that beautiful house being haunted? Or is there a hidden threat that Jungkook's parents must intervene on their own? A source very close to HYB's management anonymously divulged that the house was apparently not only used as Jungkook's personal residence, but also held a number of other properties, including personal recordings, unreleased works, and, most surprisingly, old archives relating to BTS's initial contract. Yeah, it's not just a house. This is a secret bank, an emotional vault that holds pieces of Jungkook's life that have never been revealed to the public. It includes a videotape of his toughest days in the trainee room, a diary of his mental stress from the age of 15, and most impactful, an undeliverable letter Jungkook wrote to his family as he contemplated giving up entertainment. The presence of his parents in the house is not without reason. Based on information from one of the family's lawyers, they received notifications about intruders who tried to break into the home security system several times. And even more astonishing, from the results of the initial investigation, it is suspected that internal parties tried to access the safe where Jungkook kept personal documents. The alleged betrayal of a close person suddenly shook the foundation of trust that Jungkook had built in silence. But the most surprising fact is that it's not over yet. When the security officers did a resweep, they found a secret room behind the bookcase that had been thought to be only part of the interior design. The room is small, no more than 3 by 3 meters, with a hidden door and biometric security. In it, not only Jungkook's documents and works of art were found, but it was an iron box with the label HYB Confidential 2013 that instantly made the heart of anyone who heard it beat. I in the box. Pieces of the original contract documents between Big Hit and the members of BTS were found, which surprisingly included a secret clause about the copyright of the songs that turned out to be attributed to Jungkook's name more than any known publication. Meaning, Jungkook has been the hidden copyright holder for some of BTS's biggest songs, but has never been revealed to the public for reasons that have yet to be clarified. There are even indications that some of the songs' royalties did not flow entirely to the supposed parties. A big scandal that could have dragged many big names in the body of the K-pop industry. And it doesn't stop there. On the other side of the room, there was a board full of small paper patches, sticky notes, and Jungkook's own handwriting. Among them, one wrote, "If it's all over, I want to go back to being John Jungkook, not BTS's Jungkook." That sentence instantly makes anyone who reads it speechless. The big question arises, has Jungkook been living under much greater pressure than he seems? Is his luxury home in Itaewon an escape? A place to be alone from the demanding world that has held him so high, but also locked him up. After the news about this secret room leaked to the public, the Korean media was immediately shocked. Trending topics on Twitter were filled with the hashtags #JKHiddenRoom, #Itaewon and #ProtectJungkook. Armies from around the world expressed concern and support en masse. Many of them feel betrayed by the management if it is proven that Jungkook has been carrying an incredible burden that is not known to the public. Meanwhile, HYB's side was still silent. Not a single official statement has come out since this news spread like wildfire in the middle of a dry forest. But Hybe's silence only further ignited public anger. Even a number of large fan sites have started calling for a boycott of HYB affiliate products if there is no transparency in the next 24 hours. Some K-pop influencers have also begun to speak out, questioning the industry's loyalty to its artists. And in the midst of this storm, Jungkook is still unable to appear directly before the public because of his military status. But Jungkook's official social media account suddenly posted a short, heart-wrenching excerpt of the poem, just one sentence. Even a palace can feel like a prison if you don't have the key to freedom. The sentence was considered the first signal that Jungkook was aware of everything that was happening, and probably also realized that all the secrets had been revealed. His parents, who are now temporarily living in the Itaewon house, are believed to be taking care of all forms of security and investigation so that no further leaks occur. But their presence also reinforces that the family is now taking over the reins, as if signaling, this is not just a contractual affair, it is about their child who so far has probably lived in unimaginable silence and pressure. From there, the discussion among fans began to grow wild. Some say that the house has actually been suspicious for a long time because of the level of security that is beyond reasonable. Even some interior contractors who have been involved in home remodel projects mention that there are parts of the building structure that are not allowed to be touched or repaired without personal permission from Jungkook himself. Mystery after mystery flowed, and it all came down to one point. Why did Jungkook build his residence like a fortress? A former HYB staffer who once worked closely with the BTS team also revealed that Jungkook was caught several times standing alone in the studio until the early hours of the morning, staring at a blank screen without touching a musical instrument or microphone. He just sat down. His eyes were empty. Then he wrote something on a small piece of paper and burned it. The testimony of the staff. And now, when the sticky noteboard in Itaewon's house is found, all the stories seem to be strung together into one sad portrait of a star who is always smiling in front of the camera, but keeps the storm behind the scenes. One of the most heartbreaking pieces of paper among the sticky notes reads, "I'm too young to give up, but too tired to fight." A sentence that made the public cry and angry. How could the beloved magne of millions of people around the world feel that way if the industry and the public really love her? An exclusive report from the John family notary's office also mentioned that in recent months, Jungkook has begun to transfer some of his personal assets into a legally protected trust fund, a move that is usually done to protect assets from lawsuits or for inheritance, and this again raises speculation. Is Jungkook preparing to exit the entertainment world? Or is this the last form of protection because he knows a bigger storm is coming? Clearly, the house is not just a place to live. Itaewon is now keeping a secret that can no longer be covered up. In the presence of Jungkook's parents, there is only the beginning of all the truth that has never been given room to come out.